Hey, AFROSCOPE again. Welcome to another video, another episode of Dream with AFROSCOPE. And I'm happy to be here. Good to be sharing with you again. If it's your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Appreciate your presence. And yeah, I've been thinking about this conversation that I recently had with a good friend of mine who's an artist, who moved from Ghana to Canada recently for work and has been trying to slowly find his feet, trying to balance his creative practice with his 9 to 5. And it hasn't been easy. It's been one of those things that has been requiring him to dig very deep and find a way to keep pushing and balancing those two things. But interestingly, he recently had this opportunity to show work with a gallery. They came across his work and they found it very, very compelling, but they're trying to push him a bit further so his work can be ready for a fair. So he calls me up and he's telling me about this opportunity. And he says, I don't think I can. I don't think I have what it takes to actually complete this work in time, in the quality that I want it to be, and then get it ready for the fair. And I heard him out. I saw where he was coming from and what he was trying to share. And I was thinking to myself, like, yo, bro, what if you can? What if you actually can do this? What if you can pull it off? There are all these doubts that often creep into our minds as creatives that make us question whether or not we are able to actually do what it is that we need to do, whether or not our dreams or our visions or ambitions are too big. And it happens to all of us. It creeps in and makes you question whether what you're doing has any worth at all. But ask yourself, what if you can? What if you actually have what it takes to make the vision reality? Because often these doubts that creep in, these thoughts that make us question whether or not the thing we want to create is actually of any value, these are often not true. They're often just echoes of some things that we may have heard in the past, some information we may have unconsciously sort of imbibed and made a part of our psyche and our thinking and our mindsets. But when you ask yourself, like, what if you can? What if you can actually make those steps? Because these doubts make us wonder, Charlie, is this dream too big? Am I trying to do too much? Is this actually something I can achieve? Am I prepared for it? Do I have what it takes? And for me, whenever I have those kind of moments or have those kind of questions, this is what I do. I just start somewhere. You just have to try. You just have to take that first step. You don't have to be 100% ready. Just that 1% movement towards that goal starts to have those doubts melt away. And that's when you actually know that you have what it takes and that you can actually make some progress. Those are the only ways that any of these questions or doubts start to melt away. And asking yourself always, like, what if you can? What if you actually are able to make that piece of music, or you are actually able to produce that beautiful work that you want to build, that company, complete that course? What if you actually can take a step forward and then the next one and then the next one? Those are the only ways we can start to slowly silence that doubt. And sometimes it also just takes looking around you, reading and learning about the stories of people who may have been lesser talented may have come from less, who have actually built something, who have actually done a version of what it is that you're trying to do, learning from their process. What did they do that you can borrow from and move your vision forward? What if you actually can? You know, ask yourself that question. Even in your family, look at the folks around you. Where did they come from? I look at the story of my mother, growing up in a village, making her way to the city, going through school, training college, and all of that. And now having her own business and doing her own thing. Doesn't need anybody to validate her ideas. She just goes for it and makes it happen. Who are the people around you that you can learn from? Because when we look at our communities and when we learn from our favorite athletes, artists, creatives who have actually done and created and built something, there are lessons that we can borrow from. So we see that maybe we actually can as well. Maybe these doubts are not real. What if you can? We are not alone. There are people around us who've done it, people that we can learn from. And it's important to take lessons from all these moments and all these people, even your own journey, things that you didn't think were possible, that you were actually able to do. Let those be your motivators, and let those be the things that guide you towards this grander vision of what you're looking to achieve. What if you can? Ask yourself every day, what if I can? And keep moving forward, keep pushing, keep trying to make that vision happen. So that's what I want to leave with you today. Just making this sort of a mantra, something that you always come back to, something that you always connect with, that is always ringing in the back of your mind. What if I can? Because maybe you actually will make it happen. This is AFROSCOPE, another moment with you today. If you found any value in this, drop a like, share, subscribe, and let's keep moving. Peace.